Hi everyone, welcome to the CloudHired channel. Here I will explain you for cloud DevOps and automation learning tutorials as well. I will explain you Azure and AWS and Google Cloud and also DevOps and automation CI/CD pipeline. These are all things as well. I will, if you are looking for a cloud architect role, I will explain those tutorials also. So, for example, if you are preparing for a DevOps or cloud engineer role, this video is going to be the one of the most important ones for you because today we are diving deep into the Terraform end-to-end real-time and interview questions and answers. We'll start from the basics of the Terraform architecture, what is and how it works and why everything like why everyone DevOps engineer must know it. Then we'll go to step by step and real time demo, AWS demo, including providers and variables, data source and modules, as well remote state configuration using like S3 and DynamoDB. We also cover how to manage the multiple environment using like Terraform Workspace, handle a state file safely, and integrate Terraform with your CI/CD pipelines using Jenkins and GitLab also. And towards and I will walk you through top Terraform interview questions and answers. That's the real companies are asking right now. Uh, and also real-time troubleshooting like state file loss and drift detection and security scanning. These are all things. So, if you are new to here, don't forget to subscribe to the Cloud High. And this complete Terraform entry questions and answers. If you first you can go through this video all completely end to end because if you need this document, you can personally email me. I will share it to you. But before that, definitely you can go through this all video because if you are not understand, there is no use which I am sharing. Okay, let's get started. Here. What is the Terraform? I explain each and everything like Terraform. What is the Terraform and what are the advantages of Terraform? So you can go through the advantages and what is the Terraform. Just you can understand that what is that. So and also the Terraform architecture overview also I have given the few details here like the configuration file state file providers and backend and modules and all things. So this is the main overview because if you want to build any applications, these are the major uh, uh, major details here. And also the provider means provider configuration. See, for example, if you want to define a multiple providers to manage the multiple regions. So this is the code block. This is the code block. So by using this only, you can connect the particular region. And also here I explain the variables also. So if you want to connect EC2 instance or how we are going to connect by using AMI ID, these are all things. So this is the block to connect the EC2 instance. So here you need to provide the like any description. If you want to provide any description, you can provide the description and the type and the AMI IDs are all things you can provide it. So the key name and value also you can provide it here. Uh, See, this is the type. If you want to provide any EC2 instance, this is the block you can provide it. So and the data source. Data source means like for example, if you want to connect any backend details like database side or any server side. So if you want to connect, so these are the details you have to provide. Um, and the locals also locals means for example, see earlier we have created the EC2 instance, right? So from there, if you want to connect, just you can provide those details here from there. like use the AMI ID from the variables if provided. So or else you can fetch the AMI ID also here. See, this is the EC2 creation block. So if you want to create the EC2 instance, just you have to provide like AMI ID, instance type, and SSH key also you have to provide here. See, this is the block for EC2 instance. So if you are a DevOps engineer or any architect or like SRE engineer, definitely at least you have to, like, if they want to ask you to write any like EC2 instance or any provider, whatever it is, so at least you have to explain two things. So at least like at least if you write like EC2 instance, you can explain, and also if you write some providers you can explain, that it's a good impression for you. uh, this is the security groups. So when you're going to well, while you creating the VPC, so there you have to provide like security groups like incoming, outgoing, and subnets. See, ingress means it's a incoming network. Egress means it's a outgoing network. So these are the port number. This opens 22 port number and allows outbound traffic. So this is the block for allowing incoming and outgoing network, and remote state backend. This is very important. These are all actually very important, but this is the 100% they will ask you what is the remote state. So here you definitely need to explain very clearly. See, for example, uh, let's say if you want to store any credential, like for example, let's say if you want to connect data AWS cloud, you need you need some details, what is called AMI ID and also reason, as well some of the details like EC2 instance details, or if you want to connect like S3, you need like a data S3 bucket names. These are all things. So let's say here, but these are all things you need to store. Where like you need to store completely dynamic wise. You should not store like local variable, like how you should not do hard coding differently. As the environment variable you have, as the environment variable you have to store. So this is actually here, this is the bucket name. So this is the bucket name. In the key means, after, if you, let's say you created one bracket in the AWS, this is the bracket name. After that, this is the folder, and env and dev is the folder name. Terraform.tf state, this is the file name. And also region, and also here the DynamoDB, this is the logs you have to enable here. So now store state in S3 and logs via DynamoDB to prevent the conflicts. This means what, for example, in the Terraform, if your developers like commit the like global wise, for example, two three developers at a time if they commit. So if you do the Terraform log means it won't allow. So it will show it will show something like so already someone is using something, like it will show. So definitely the DynamoDB logging is very important. Okay. See, earlier we have seen one provider, like we have seen one only, like how we are going to connect AWS. So now we are seeing like multi providers like GCP and AWS. And also if you want to connect Azure also, here you can define it. See, for example, this is for we are going to connect AWS and Google. So the providers, they have here AWS. This one is the Google. This one is the Google. Okay. Say to deploy the AWS and GCP simultaneously, you have to define two providers. And this is the workspace management. Workspace management, for example, if you have application, for example, you have application like a dev environment and QA and production environment. First, you have implemented like dev environment. So the same thing, if you want to replicate QA and production also, you have to create the workspace. Sorry, sorry, workspace. So here, for example, if you want to create a new folder, you have to use Terraform workspace, new dev. So then it will create the no new folder. Dev folder it will create it. So if you want to save that particular folder, Terraform workspace select and dev. Then you can save the particular workspace. So like that only you need to create dev production and QA also. How many environments if you want you can create. This one workspace list means how many you have created the environment. It will show the list of the environment names. Okay. See the here use case the separate environment dev QA and production with isolated states. Okay. Here okay. Now the Terraform troubleshooting commands. See troubleshooting commands, for example, Terraform FMT means it will format the code. For example, it beautify the code actually. Terraform validate means, for example, if you have any syntax error, it will show the syntax error. Okay. And check the drift. Drift means here what you know. For example, you have modified something. So if you want to refresh the application, so you need to by using drift command, you have to check the Terraform plan and refresh equal to true. Okay, and view the current state list. For example, if you want to show the current state list, you have to use the Terraform state and list. If you want to remove, you have to use the Terraform state with the researchers. Okay, and import the existing infra. For example, if you want to import the existing infra, you have to use the import command. Okay, same like that only the remaining you can understand that. For example, here if you want to, for example, if the state file is lost, for example, if the state file is lost, then how you going to recover it? The best practice, for example, always store the state file S3 plus DynamoDB. Enable the versioning and replication. For example, you need to enable the versioning. For example, you have created one environment, you are going to come to the source code. Each time it will going to create the versioning. So for example, version 1, 2, 3, something like that, when you're going to create, if you lost something suddenly, or the state file corrupted, you immediately you need to, yeah, you need to import by using the previous version. And also for this you have to assign the IAM policies, all things you have to assign. So if you lost permanently, use the Terraform import to rebuild the state file from the real infra. Okay. So this is actually null resources how to provide and all things. This is the block. This is the modular. Modular means mostly like, for example, if you create one modular, let's say you have created one VPC or network, for example. Say let's the same VPC and network. If you want to assign any other like you have implemented like one dev environment, but that same thing you have to replicate production and QA. So by using module only, you have to replicate. So drift detection, how you going to do the drift detection, and also sensitive data handling. For example, say sensitive data handling means, for example, if you want to store the sensitive information like username and password, everything, you have to store the details into AWS Secret Manager. In the Secret Manager, you have to assign key and values. From there, you have to call the environment variable. In the Terraform file, each and everything you should not store hard coding. So everything you have to handle by using the environment variable. Mm. So for that you have to do this is the block for handling the sensitive information. Uh, and so this is thing actually, like these are also commands how we are going to use. And also security scanning, you have to use like checkvar, Terraform scan. These are all things. And here the many people will ask what is the difference between Terraform and Ansible. Like Terraform is a infrastructure provisioning, and Ansible is the configuration management. For example, infrastructure provisioning means If you want to create like EC2 instance and VPC, security group subnets and networking and also any DynamoDB, whatever it is. Yes. So by using the Terraform only completely you can create the infrastructure. Okay. So but in Ansible means if you want to install any packages like any like if you want to install any what it's called Python packages, if you want to install any Node.js packages, if you want to install Java packages, what are the packages you want to install? So in by using Ansible only, you can configure the infra. Okay. This is the cloud. What is the difference cloud formation and Terraform? So it's simply like Terraform. That will support the multi-cloud, like it will support the Azure and AWS and GCP and if any other cloud also. The Terraform on the particular, it will support only AWS only. And see here also they have given other real-time questions also. For example, how do you handle drift between how do you handle the drift between Terraform and actual cloud infra, and how do you going to recover if state file is lost? And also the remaining questions also they have given here. How to manage multiple region accounts and how to test the Terraform changes safely. So use the Terraform plan workspace and Terraform tester. So by using these commands only, you can safely you can handle that. And how to roll back. For example, if you lost something, like you need to roll back by using S3 versioning state. So, you can restore the older state file. Okay. This is the deployment across the environment like dev, QA, production, and also yeah. These are the final checklist before interview. So, for example, these are all things you must understand the Terraform lifecycle and explain like state file and remote backend drift. And also you have to know the top commands like Terraform init, Terraform apply, Terraform FMT, Terraform plan, and Terraform auto approve. These are all things very important comments and all Terraform workspace. These are all very important comments. So that one you need to check as well. The errors like Chekwa and TF-lint also for security purpose. For example, if you want to scan any, if you want to once you commit the code, if you want to scan the complete code end to end, normally people will use the Sonar Cube also for checking code quality and lint errors and any like vulnerability solving. So here also you can by using check also you can check, and also you must know the difference between cloud formation, Terraform, and so on. And also very important thing is they explain how you integrate it CI/CD pipeline. So CI/CD pipeline also end to end you have to explain. Let's say for example, once you commit the code into the repository, from repository to Jenkins, and if you use the Jenkins or GitLab or and cloud services like EKS or ECR, EC2, DynamoDB. They're all each and everything how we are going to coordinate. So these are all things we have to explain also. The approvals in like if let's say in GitHub Actions or whatever the tool if you are using, like there like before going to the production you need to provide the manual approval. These are all things, and also branch policy. These are all things you have to explain end to end. Yeah, this is the completely end to end entry process. For example, let's say if someone is asking you about the Terraform, if these are the tutorials, if you learn properly, definitely they will ask you in this at least 70 to 80% they will ask you from this document only. But you must learn end to end. Yeah, this is the tutorial. Thank you so much. If you need the document, first you go through this complete video and you can understand. If you have any doubt, you can comment the section. You comment the in the comment section. I will reply you. And if you need this document, you can mail me personally. I will send it to you. Thank you so much.